The world of British TikTok is a complete and utter circus of characters and oddball members of society. From Paul Breach to Cal the Dragon, there is always a story that echoes through the walls of British TikTok. But none more than one creator that has become as infamous as the Joker roaming the streets of Gotham. Hello guys, I'm the Phat Memer. I document memes and internet stories, and today we're going to be discussing the story of Elphaba. So the first question you may have, like I had before doing this video, what the fuck is an Elphaba? Elphaba is a character and one of the main protagonists from the Broadway show and play Wicked. Although Elphaba, aka Alpha Orion Doherty, is a 19-year-old trans woman and content creator who posted her first TikTok in March 2020. Her early videos were basically just continual renditions of the song Defying Gravity from the production of Wicked. Her videos quickly gained traction for her over-the-top performances of her covers and her somewhat transparent view of the highs and lows of her transitioning story. However, as time has gone by, it's been revealed that she is a serial liar, attention seeker, and manipulator of her audience. Like a lot of TikTok creators, Elphaba makes the majority of her income through TikTok lives. But the problem with TikTok lives in general, they reward weird and extreme content, causing the content creator to think that they have to up the stakes and have meltdowns and cause drama in order to make money. Essentially, people will exchange their sanity and dignity in order to get more money from TikTok lives. Knowing this, as her TikTok career progressed, her live streams got more strange and erratic, but she made it abundantly clear to her fans that the money donated to her would help fund her transitioning progress, although the majority of the money is being spent on Pokemon cards. She would go through waves of switching between acting humble and begging for gifts.
No, please, I do not want to do a line target. That's insane to ask. That's just stupid to ask. I'm never, ever doing that. It's just, no, it's not cool. It's not cool. That's such a ton of money to ask. If you can financially support me, do it! Let's get all the money!
Elphaba suffers with a highly contagious skin condition called scabies, which is contracted through prolonged skin-to-skin contact. It isn't dangerous, but if left untreated, it can cause chronic kidney disease, septicemia, and heart disease. Despite being an easy target to paint the brush of being unhygienic, anyone can catch scabies, and apparently doesn't necessarily have anything to do with poor hygiene. However, she has gained major criticisms for going to public spaces and trying on clothes without taking precautions of spreading the condition. Despite obviously suffering with some conditions or disabilities, the common theme of Elphaba's criticism comes from Elphaba's self-diagnosis of medical conditions and general lying about most aspects of her life in order to justify her actions, gain sympathy and gifts on live streams. But in 2022, she stated that she has autism. Around this time, she became friends with another trans content creator named Jack. The pair would become friends, with Elphaba moving into Jack's mum's house where they would perform musical numbers for their fans. This subsequently led to Jack and Elphaba also performing together in Autism's Got Talent in October 2022, despite Elphaba not actually being diagnosed with autism. However, the relationship deteriorated because Elphaba felt she was being controlled living at Jack's house. Elphaba also blamed this event for her lack of hygiene at the time.
I couldn't look after a 17-year-old. I felt I really couldn't do it. Hence why I wasn't looking after myself. I was not washing myself. I didn't clean my teeth. I was focusing on Jack. You know, it's like all here. And people say, you don't wash, you don't do this and that. I literally had a bath last night. I'm very insecure about my teeth and I struggle to clean my teeth. I don't know why, but I'm scared about it. Hands, no. Who washes their hands after pissing? I don't.
However, it was also around this time when Elphaba started pretending that she had Tourettes, as well as the autism. She would begin displaying tics mid-stream. However, you can clearly see by the videos that the majority of them look like pre-planned tics instead of being involuntary. This would continue on for weeks as people began to suspect that something was up, but it wasn't until DMs leaked from within the depths of Elphaba's Discord server that it was revealed that she confessed to faking the Tourettes and autism. I need pills that can help me stop lying, for fuck's sake. Sometimes I can't help lying. I don't know why. I didn't mock anything. I lied, yes, but I never mocked anything. People are now sending me threats and calling me and telling me that no one would care if... And on the 18th of March 2023, a clip taken from a TikTok live was uploaded, in which it saw Tourette's awareness creator Jodie Lynn confront Elphaba about her alleged Tourette's diagnosis.
A little bit like, why are you doing it?
Oh, no, let me say this. So basically, I went to a GP, right? And
I'm not talking about autism, by the way.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, of course, absolutely understand. So sometimes I have anxiety, right? So I'm diagnosed with anxiety. And basically I squeak and jitter uncontrollably sometimes. I've done it off live. My mum has seen it herself. I asked the doctor, is this Tourette's? And they said they're not 100% sure, so they had to put me in, TalkWorks. It's a service. Let me show you.
Before you carry on, can I just say that no GP would have said they weren't sure about Tourette's, because you have to be 12 months having tics to be called Tourette's. So there's no way any GP will have said to you, we're not sure if that's Tourette's. If they thought you had tics, it would be a different story. But there's no way any GP said to you, yeah, we're not sure if that's Tourette's. That's bollocks, mate. That's bollocks. I don't need to see referrals, the same as I wouldn't want anyone to ask for our referrals. But I do think that you really do need to reconsider the things that you share and the things that you say. You are actually hurting a whole community of people in various ways. And time again, you're apologising for stuff and you're not meaning what you're saying.
Around this time, there was also a slew of confessions and apologies from Elphaba, some of which have now been deleted.
It was wrong of me to say I had Tourette's. That was wrong. I'm very sorry for that, because, I tend to say things without thinking, and that is the thing I need to stop. I lied about being diagnosed with autism, correct? And that's damaging. But I'm taking an effort into being diagnosed for it. I think it's fucking clear I'm autistic. Let's be real. And it's not that deep. Self-diagnosis is valid in my opinion. That's why I get a lot of hate from, these situations, but I get put into these situations by haters. I'm so sorry for lying in the past. I really am. Deep down, I'm taking an effort into getting diagnosed for autism. If I'm not autistic, then, that's different. Hence why people say you need to get help, I think all of us need help right now.
After being criticised for faking autism and Tourette's, she was seen on TikTok Live getting angry at people for bringing it up again, despite it only happening the week before. This led to content creator Uncle Tix, who actually suffers with Tourette's, putting it in perspective for her.
That's so old now, just bringing it up. It's boring.
This is a big one. Ouch. It might be old for you, but for the ones that suffer, it really isn't. It's quite sad. You do not have Tourette's, you've said it yourself, and you haven't been diagnosed. You choose when you want to have tics, and you're a compulsive liar. But, in saying that, I reckon you suffer with something called Munchausen syndrome. Munchausen is a rare psychological behavioural condition in which somebody fabricates or induces symptoms of disabilities in themselves.
Her involvement with some creators has also perpetuated the hate. In May 2023, Chelsea Lee Art invited Elphaba to come and live with her in her London home, which would honestly just leave for incredibly disturbing content. The content they had filmed together was loud, obnoxious, abusive, and just plain weird, which would often result in getting kicked out of public spaces and arguments flaring up over TikTok Live. But this made for perfect viewing for the TikTok world to clip up and go viral. Elphaba also found solace in Chelsea, as she would often defend Elphaba from trolls. However, they ended up falling out as the relationship became more and more toxic. On the 18th of August 2023, Max Ballage talked about his interactions with Elphaba and how they betrayed his trust.
My thing with Elphaba is, I thought when I met her, this is such a lovely person. She was so lovely to me. I can't even put it into words. I felt so protective over her that I invited her to our podcast launch event as well a few weeks later. I personally just felt so disappointed in her as a person when she was at my house and told me about her autism diagnosis. It happened when she went to the doctor. She sat and told me this to my face, to then later find a few months later that she'd completely made it up. None of that was true. She also said on lives that she had Tourette's. Found out that she'd never been diagnosed with that. She told me and showed me things that Chelsea Lee Ort, which if you don't know who that is, she's like this other TikTok live person. When I saw the things that she had said to Elphaba, I was horrified that this woman has a platform. She was so transphobic to her, so nasty to her, so awful, and Elphaba told me how much that hurt her. Like, genuinely, I saw it in her face. She was so hurt. A couple of weeks later, she moved into Chelsea Lee Ort's house and lived with her for over a week, just on live stream non-stop. Guys, come on, send the gifts, come on, send it.
On the 13th of November 2023, Elphaba posted an Instagram story of the ambulance assessment area at a hospital. However, when people reversed image searched the picture, it was one of the first to appear on Google, making people believe it was more attention seeking from Elphaba. It was then announced by various unknown and bullshit news sources that Elphaba had sadly passed away. However, that was obviously false, and Elphaba would then go on to make a video proving that she was in fact in a hospital for self-H. This would result in live streams in following days dedicated to making excuses and convincing her audience that she's not lying about self-H. The world of TikTok lives is extremely weird, where young, impressionable audiences tip mentally unstable, money-hungry creators in order to witness meltdowns. Constantly being on TikTok live is not healthy for anyone, especially when you draw so much hate on a consistent basis. Elphaba obviously needs professional help, and putting yourself out there when you're vulnerable or not in a sound mind state is always going to result in a place for people to mock and criticize you. But you can't cry about being hated on when the reason you're being criticized is because of your own actions. Faking conditions and disabilities is harmful and can severely affect the people that do actually have to live with disabilities, especially if you're profiting from it. Thank you so much for watching this video, it really does mean a lot to me. Make sure to follow me on all of my socials at Phat, like, subscribe, and comment below what you want to see next.